How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel. What is up? Oh, has it been at least a minute since I posted? Anyways, don't mind the hair. I don't know if you know this, but there's this thing going around the world. It's called coronavirus or COVID-19, depending if you want to be formal or not. But yeah, due to that, my barber will not cut my hair, so that kind of sucks. But obviously, it's affecting a lot of things, and it's unfortunate for everything that's happened. All the people that got sick and unfortunately passed away due to this. It's really horrible, and it's affecting everything, and it's definitely affecting the stock market, to say the least. That might be the understatement of the decade. Thankfully, it's only May of the decade, so 5 months in, and it's going exactly how I did not expect. So anyways, since there was a bit of a downturn, what stocks did I buy? Because yes, I've still been investing, even though I haven't been posting. I've definitely been investing, and I bought 6 brand new stocks. 6, like one more than 5. That's crazy. Okay. I should add they're all pretty small positions. They're definitely not too big. Like if we go percent wise, none of them are even 5% of my account. The biggest one is, which is the one I'll talk about first. That one's like 4% of my total account. So it's not like these are huge positions. And the reason for that mostly is because I don't feel like the stock market rally is going to last, straight up. I just think that we basically had a V-shaped recovery, and I want to make a video talking about how I see the stock market being, but I think of it more like a W and not a win. I mean, it will be a win if you buy at the bottom, but if you buy at the top, well, you're going to have to wait a little while to take that win. In the meantime, you might take an L or L. I'm not sure which way it's going to be on the video, but you know what I mean, right? Anyways, so without further ado, let's just talk about the stocks I bought. And I did add to one position as well, and I actually sold off a little bit of one position. So I'll talk about that too. Disclaimer, you probably shouldn't buy these stocks unless you like them. Like, just take my advice. I'm not going to go in detail about any of these because it's quite a few stocks to talk about, and I think this video will be really long, and I doubt you want to hear me talk for an hour. Maybe you do. If you do, comment down below. If not, well, then I'm just going to get right into it. So the first stock I bought, believe it or not, is a bank stock. Oh yeah, these are sectors I've never invested in. All 6 of them, never invested in them, except for one, kind of, but I'll explain that one. So the first stock and the biggest stock I bought is a bank stock. Now, I'll be completely honest. It's not my favorite bank stock. So why'd I buy it? Well, I'll get into that. So the first stock I bought is Wells Fargo. And I bought it because, well, it's Wells Fargo and it's gonna go far. That was a horrible joke, but let's move on. So I bought Wells Fargo. Why did I buy Wells Fargo? First and foremost, this is gonna sound kind of bad because it goes against everything, but I love their dividend at about 8% right now. Damn, for a bank, I'll take it. And I pretty much always say never buy a stock for just the dividend. However, it is enticing, and in the past year, I've gone so much more into dividends that I really love it. It really helps my gains. Even when the stock isn't performing, at least you're still making money. So, damn. And 8% for a bank, that's like unheard of, okay? So, yeah, it's not my favorite, but I like their balance sheet, and they've had a lot of issues. I don't know if you have Netflix, but if you do, go check out Dirty Money, and there's an episode on Wells Fargo. They've had some issues. Basically, they were opening up shady accounts. They were just kept making their bank tellers open up accounts and accounts and accounts, trying to inflate the number and make it look like, oh my God, so many new people are opening accounts. This is crazy. But yeah, that backfired. But they got new management, I believe, in this company, and I actually want to make a bigger position in this company. I don't own too many shares. I'll throw it out there. I own 50, so not a ton. But I do want to increase that to at least 100, maybe 200. Maybe a little more, maybe like 250. I think that's like ideal. But I like to buy in small stages, so I don't put all my money in at once. And none of these are all put in, but that one is the most that I have put in pretty much. So yeah, I like this stock, and I think it's going to do pretty well. Again, I'm not going to talk about these forever because it's going to take a long time. So let's just move on to the next one. The second one I bought is the second largest position. It's Tapestry, retail. So I never bought a retail stock before, and why did I buy Tapestry? Well, I like I like Tapestry. You know, I like looking at it. I think it's a little undervalued right now, and I think it got hit too hard. Now, I don't plan on keeping this stock long term. It's a small position, and it's more of a trade, this one, because I have a feeling once retail stores say they're open, I'm going to get a good bounce on this stock, and I'm going to get out of it. It's not a big position. It's not going to be a big trade. I'm hoping to make, 500 maybe on this trade or something. It's just a trade for the most part. It's not a long-term hold position, but Tapestry, if you don't know, they own their biggest brands are Coach and Kate Spade. But yeah, pretty good. They did have to, slash that dividend, but that was expected. Like when I bought it, they were just about to cut it. I was pretty sure about that anyways. So I bought a little bit. They cut the dividend like I kind of figured, and then I bought the rest that I currently have. I don't know if I'll add to this position. If I do, it's probably got to be under $10, and I might add a little bit. But if another stock goes under 10, Capri, it's a competitor who owns like Michael Kors, Versace, I might add a little Capri. So we'll see what happens. The third stock I bought is Wynn Resorts. Winning Resorts, yes. They're a Las Vegas casino company. They own casinos, hotels. They're very nice. I've never been to one, but it looks cool. Wynn. So obviously there's a lot of issues with Steve Wynn and him inappropriately touching people, so that's not great. But that's over with for now. And what's up with Wynn? Well, obviously due to the fact of coronavirus, COVID-19, they had to shut down casinos completely. Physically, they're not making any money because you can't go to their casinos and their hotels, which is like the big business, right? We're talking like VIPs who come in and gamble $100,000+, millions of dollars, really, and that's what they're really missing. That's what they need. So I didn't buy too much of this company. They actually just reported earnings. They weren't great, be honest, but it's not a right now story. It's a later story. And I always liked this company. I thought it was a little overpriced, but I always said if this stock went under 100, I would be a buyer. And guess what? It went under 100. I put my money where my mouth is, and I bought some Wynn Resorts. I also own call options in this. They're probably going to expire worthless because they're for 140 strike price. Youch. I didn't pay very much for them. It was like $100, thankfully. But yeah, it's probably gonna lose that $100 to be completely honest with you. But this thing fell so far so fast that I was thinking that I'd actually make that one back. But it happens. So anyways, that was my third one. The fourth one I bought is an oil company. Now, this is the one that I said I kind of bought. So I bought Canadian oil companies before. Yeah, those were some good times back in the day, buying like Blackbird Energy for like 30 cents and then selling it out at 64 cents. Nice gain, right? That was cool. And some other ones, Spartan Energy, Canadian Oil Sands. There's a lot of weird Canadian oil companies, But I never bought an American oil company. So I finally bought Occidental Petroleum. Yep, that's the one I bought. Why did I buy it? Well, oil's damn cheap right now, and as far as I'm looking at them, there's some that are like not going to go bankrupt. The U.S. isn't going to let some of these companies go bankrupt. The ones they're not going to let go bankrupt, Chevron, Exxon, Oxy, those ones are not going bankrupt, okay? Those ones are safe. The U.S. will continue to bail them out because they create so many jobs in like Texas, man. You got to remember that the U.S. is like pretty much the #1 oil supplier now. Like they're producing so much. And you know what? It was a perfect storm of people not needing oil. Obviously, airlines down, cruise lines down, people not driving as much, and then OPEC. Oh my God. Like it was literally the perfect storm. I don't know if you watched that movie, but this is what that was. Basically you're George Clooney and Mark Wahlberg looking out at this giant tornado wall of water, and that was the oil market, and that little boat was Occidental Petroleum, along with so many others, and they got hit hard. Yeah, real hard, okay? So I invested in this one a little bit. It's also the company that, if you remember, Berkshire Hathaway lent out a bit of a loan so they could buy Anadarko. Obviously, that's not working out too well, but I bought it. I didn't buy too much. I might add a little bit more of this one, actually. I kind of like this one. We'll move on. The fifth one I bought is Delta. It's an airline. First airline I ever bought, I bought Delta. I've never actually flown Delta. I've flown a couple others, but not Delta. Although I've always wanted to. Maybe after all this is done, I'll fly Delta, support my stock. Again, didn't buy too much of this one. It's definitely been hit even harder after my man Warren Buffett decided to go, yeah, no, we're good. We're good. We're going to drop Delta. We're going to drop United and American. Youch. Man, I just saw the other day that American actually got a $1 price target. Damn, $1. Ouch. Flat out though, I don't think it's going to go bankrupt, okay? Some of them could. Definitely some of the small ones. Delta, I don't think so. The US prides themselves on like some of this stuff, okay? And they really like their airlines. They're not getting bailed out. They already got a bit of a lifeline, okay? So as far as this company going bankrupt, nah. And you know what? It's one of those things where if you're like, you know, I'll drive. Sure, you can drive, but if you want to fly to like, I don't know where you live. I live in Canada, you know, we're basically the upstairs neighbor of the United States. But if I want to go to like Europe, I can't drive there. It's physically impossible to drive there. I'm going to have to take a plane no matter what. I could take a boat, but that's uneconomical, so, and going to take forever. So I could take a plane. Much faster. And you know what? I have a good feeling that everything will start to rebound. Sure, it's going to take time. I read this thing that, this article that after 9/11, so on September 10th, it took about 2 years after 9/11 for air traffic to go back to September 10th traffic. Can you believe that? It took 2 years because of one day, one horrible day, obviously. And yeah, but it took 2 years for it to go back. This, I'll be honest, might take a little bit longer, unless they have a vaccine or something that comes out, but I wouldn't base my investment theory on that. It's kind of a hope. You don't really base your investment theories on hopes and dreams, you know? So yeah, Delta, pretty good company, not a big position. Like really, it's like if this stock moves $5, I probably won't even notice it in my account. I'll be like, huh, did something go up, you know? So I might have to go, oh wow, Delta's up. But you know, pretty much that's that one. And the last one I bought, the smallest of all the positions, is Carnival Cruise. Ay, okay, I'll be completely honest with you. I mostly bought this stock because of Jeremy from the Financial Education Channel. Now, it wasn't solely because of him, but it was just because, you know, he's got a bit of an effect going to him. And it's probably not a good reason to buy stock, and it's not. It's really not. That's why I barely bought any shares. It's under $500, okay? It's like legit under 1% of my portfolio. But I bought a little bit of this. The reason is there is a somewhat decent chance this goes bankrupt. However, not all the cruises are going to go bankrupt. They're not just going to have them all go bankrupt and then there's no more cruises. It's not going to happen. People will eventually go back on, and people will want to take cruises again. So I don't think they're just going to go bankrupt just like that. They could though. I could be wrong on that part. They could. Out of all the stocks I talked about, this one has the highest chance, for sure, like no doubt. This one and then probably Tapestry. Like those are the two highest. I would have said Tapestry was doing pretty good, but after all this, you never know, right? Like it could take a long time for retail to rebound. So some of the ones that were like doing medium to like okay, it's going to be tough. And the ones that are doing bad, you can pretty much forget about, like see you later, right? But yeah, this one's a little risky. But you know, Jeremy's got a bit of that Jeremy effect where he gets shareholders behind him. They rally and this thing could really skyrocket. I don't know if I'll add more to it though. I might add a little bit more. We'll have to wait and see though. Not a big fan of this one because I know any dollar I put into this one might be a dollar I lose. So those are the 6 companies I bought. Okay, so I added to one other position. They actually just reported earnings today. They weren't great, but you know, to be expected. It was Uber. Yes, Uber. So it was a position that I bought back in November, I think, for the first time, somewhere around there. I didn't buy too much, but I definitely added a bit more. In hindsight 2020, definitely should have added more of this one. This is one of those ones that's going to sound weird, but one of my main investment bases for this one is, I think it's like Google or Facebook, man. Like really. And a big one is when the stock, the name of the company becomes an acronym for something. For example, if I ask you to search something up, or you ask me to search something up, we're probably going to mention Google in that. Like, why don't you go Google it, right? It almost sounds better than go search it up. Go Google it, right? Sure. And that's pretty much what that is, you know? And I've been around people, and what they say is, you know, oh, let me call an Uber. They never say, oh, let me call a Lyft or a DD or, you know, one of those. They always say, I'm gonna call an Uber. I'm gonna call an Uber. Uber. It's just synonymous with like, order food, let's Uber it. Okay, so those are pretty much the companies that I bought over. Yeah, that's pretty much the moves I made. I also definitely made a lot of options trades. I don't know if I'll talk about in this video or another one. It's kind of already long, so I think I'll talk about another one. You'll see how I definitely killed options a little bit. But yeah, the only other stock I want to talk about is a stock that I preach 10,000 times a day, and that is Apple. It's actually the first time I sold any in 6 years. I've never sold an Apple share. I sold less than 20% of my position though, just because it was getting massive in my portfolio, okay? It was a 70% position. 70%, that's crazy, man. I don't like when positions get that big, but you know, I just kept adding to Apple and adding and adding. And oh my God, I was like, you know what? I have to cash out a little bit. And due to the fact that I see the stock market probably gonna take a bit of a plunge, especially when the next quarter numbers come out, man. They're not gonna be good. They are not. This quarter is mostly only reporting like 2 weeks in March, the last 2 weeks of March. So like all April, May, and June is gonna be on the next one, the next quarter, and oh my God, I can only imagine. Another stock that obviously has been hit super hard has been Disney. It's my second biggest position. You know what? I still love this company. It's definitely fallen under hard times. Thank God they launched Disney Plus. That is a saving grace and a half. But yeah, like, whew, they've fallen under some hard times. But I feel good about that company. They're not going anywhere. I love Disney, and I think most people do. It's just one of those companies. But yeah, if you want any more detail on any of these stocks, I can make a video about it. Just, I don't know if these are like really big name stocks I bought. I didn't buy like anything crazy like a Boeing, which is one I really want to buy, or like a G, which is the other one I really want to buy. But we're going to talk about that in another video. It's going to be fun. You know, it's going to be great. So anyways, due to the fact that it's going to be great, you should probably like this video. Yeah, that's what you should do. Like this video. You should also definitely hit that subscribe button. That would be super cool. Anyways, so do that. Comment down below. Did you buy any stocks? Anyways, till next time. See you later. Have an amazing, beautiful, one-of-a-kind, life-changing day. And stay safe. Wash your hands and see you next time.